Hello from Seoul. When you think of Korean food, what comes to your mind first? Let me guess, fried chicken, Korean barbecue? Nah, I think it's bibimbap, but I'm pretty sure you couldn't even try it because of its fancy presentation. But as always, if you follow my lead, there's nothing to worry about. Alright, are you guys ready? Let's get started. To make bibimbap, we need quite a lot of ingredients. Let's take a look. You will be needed ground beef, shiitake mushroom, bean sprouts, zucchini, Korean radish or daikon, cucumber, lettuce, and carrot. I'm out of breath. You need to cook all of these one by one, and obviously, this needs a lot of effort. So to make it simple, you must follow the order of preparation. Otherwise, it can take more than 2 or 3 hours. First, cut 400 grams of radish into matchsticks. We're gonna make some kind of salad. Just like when you make kimchi, we need to salt the radish beforehand. That's why I prep this first. I'm using a knife, but if you have a vegetable slicer, I recommend using it. That way, you can save a lot of time. But at the same time, I want you to use a knife like me. This is gonna be a good opportunity for you to practice your knife skills. If you keep practicing, someday you can impress your boyfriend or girlfriend with your knife skills. Trust me, it works. Why do you think Claire married me? This was all I needed. Anyways, let's get back to the point. Add 1 teaspoon of salt and mix it. We're gonna rest it for at least 15 minutes at room temperature. Next, let's prep beef. If you ever tried bibimbap at a restaurant, you've probably seen beef strips on top of bibimbap. This is the same thing, but I'm gonna make it simpler and better with ground beef. Since we're gonna extract all the good flavor from the meat, it's gonna enhance the flavor for sure. First, let's make the sauce. Chop green onion and onion. If you don't have these at home, you can skip it, but I recommend not skipping these since they really enhance the flavor. It's not because I'm in love with green onion. Put 1 cup of chopped green onions, 1 cup of chopped onions, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 5 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, and a 1/3 cup of water into a mixing bowl, and mix it well. Put some oil on a pan and add 1 cup of ground beef, which is about 200 grams. Since we're gonna use the sauce to season, you don't need to add any salt, but I recommend adding a little bit of black pepper. If you don't have beef, you can use either pork or chicken for the substitute, but make sure to use fatty parts to improve the flavor. Now pour the sauce we made and boil it. If you have difficulty eating bibimbap because of spicy gochujang sauce, you can use this instead. You can still enjoy bibimbap without Korean chili paste in it. Bibimbap simply translates to mixed rice. So as long as you mix some rice with any vegetables and any kinds of sauce, it is bibimbap. So don't worry about it. And FYI, this meat sauce will be the key to bibimbap. When most of the liquid has evaporated, it's done. Next, slice cucumber. We're not gonna cook the cucumber, so all you need to do is just slice it nicely. Since it will give a nice vibrant color to your bibimbap, I don't recommend skipping it. Plus, you don't even need to cook it, so why not? Now let's move on to zucchini. Julienne the zucchini and stir fry it on low heat and put a pinch of salt. Since we're gonna put the meat sauce and Korean chili paste to our bibimbap, we don't need to add a lot. Just pinch of salt will be enough. Most importantly, if you cook zucchini too long, it will get mushy, so do not overcook. Before it gets fully cooked, move it to the plate. While it's on the plate, the remaining heat will cook it more. This time, carrot. Again, you need to slice it thinly. I think I have to take my words back. Today is a perfect day for you to improve your knife skills. Practice it for your future girlfriend or boyfriend. You're married? Never mind. Go get your slicer. Put some oil on a pan and add the carrots. Add a pinch of salt and fry it on low heat. Make sure not to burn it. Carrot will also give beautiful color to your bibimbap. So if it's burnt, your bibimbap will not be pretty. Some of you who don't like carrots might think, is it really necessary? I understand what you're saying, but bibimbap is all about multiple colors. If there's only green on your plate, your partner never say wow. That's why I'm saying carrot is must-have ingredient. Let's chop the shiitake mushroom. Actually, it doesn't matter which mushroom you use, but I dare say shiitake mushrooms are the best. Not only for the flavor, but also for the texture. So please don't ask me like, Aaron, can I use other mushrooms? Trust me, if you use shiitake mushroom, you will thank me forever. Put some oil on a pan, add the mushrooms, and pan fry with a little bit of salt and pepper. You can use soy sauce to season, but I recommend using salt because soy sauce will make your mushrooms too dark. I love soy sauce, but not for this shiitake mushroom. Plus, we already made the meat sauce which has soy sauce in it, so no worries. Lastly, turn off the heat and finish it off with 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. It's done. Now, let's prep another ingredient. What I'm gonna use is called 콩나물, soybean sprouts. But if it's difficult to get these, you can use mung bean sprouts. Add a half teaspoon of salt into the water and put the bean sprouts in. When the water is boiling, drain the hot water and rinse them with cold water. Squeeze it to remove excess water. If you are using mung bean sprouts, you don't need to boil it from the start. Since that is much softer than these soybean sprouts, you can slightly blanch it. Now wash some lettuce and cut it into bite-sized pieces. Let's get back to the radish. After 15 minutes, you will see quite a lot of water come out of the radish. Drain the water and squeeze it with your hands. Add 1 tablespoon of Korean chili pepper flakes, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, and mix it well. Normally in Korea, we use 2 types of gochujang, Korean chili pepper flakes. One is coarse and the other one is fine ground chili flakes. For radish salad, I recommend using fine ones because it makes more beautiful red color. For information, if you use coarse ground one, make sure to check your teeth before smiling or kissing your significant one. The knife skills that you practiced a lot will come to nothing. Now we're gonna make gochujang sauce. Some of you might wanna say, why don't we just use this Korean chili paste itself? Yes, you can use that, but if you use ready-made gochujang, especially kept in the fridge for a long time, it will be too thick to mix and it will not look pretty at all. So let me show you a little tip. Put 3 tablespoons of Korean chili paste and add 1 teaspoon of sugar. If you use corn syrup instead, you can give a glossy look to your sauce. Lastly, put 1 tablespoon of water. Some of you might say, what? Water? Yes, you heard it right. And this is the trick and the tip at the same time. Your guests might think you made some special sauce for them, but we didn't do much. You just put the water in it. This is how to show off. Take some notes. Plus, it will be easier to mix it with the rice. Now everything is ready. Put some rice into a nice looking bowl and add 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. Place assorted vegetables and the meat sauce nicely. If you wanna have nicely presented bibimbap like the one from restaurants, make sure to divide the sections for each ingredient. Lastly, put sunny side up in the middle. This egg yolk will be the sauce at the same time and boost the flavor. Now we are ready to serve. Let's go to our taste tester. Claire.
Ooh. If you ever ask me what is the best looking Korean dish, I would definitely say it's bibimbap. Isn't it so pretty? Many people use a spoon when they mix bibimbap, but if you use a chopstick, you can fully enjoy every single texture of the ingredients. So I recommend using chopsticks. Ready? 하나하나의 식감을 살리느라 노력한 흔적이 보인다. 씹을 때마다 각각 다 다른 느낌의 식감들이 입에서 확 딱 느껴져. 특히 콩나물 장난 아니네. 너무 맛있다. 특히 중간중간에 여기 뭔가 소고기가 씹히는 게 이게 예술이네. 엄청 맛있는데? 집에서 먹는 그런 퀄리티가 아니야.
This time, let me show you another type of bibimbap. It's called Dolsot Bibimbap. We will use the same ingredients we prepared before, but this will taste completely different. Normally, to make Dolsot Bibimbap, we use a stone bowl, which is called Dolsot, but we can buy this only for one dish. Even to me, who lives in Korea and makes Korean food every day, buying that stone bowl doesn't sound appealing. So I'm gonna use this tukbaegi, a clay pot, which is very similar to a stone bowl. If you are a big fan of Korean food, getting one tukbaegi is not so bad because you can cook not only this bibimbap but also many Korean stews with this pot. If somebody from a clay pot company is watching this video, call me, please. I'm waiting for you. First, drop some sesame oil in a pot and coat it with a brush. This way, you can prevent the rice and the veggies from sticking onto the pot. You can do the same plating as before, but for Dolsot Bibimbap, people usually put an egg yolk for a more beautiful presentation. fermentation. I know some of you might be afraid of eating raw egg yolk, but when you mix all the ingredients, the heat from the pot will cook it eventually, so don't worry about it. If you still don't want to try this, you can go for sunny side up. It's all up to you. After the planing, we're gonna heat this bibimbap for 3 minutes over medium-high heat and reduce the heat to low heat and wait for 2 more minutes. For information, if you want to get extra crispy rice on the bottom, you can cook a little longer. Finish it off with a half teaspoon of sesame oil and let's go to our taste tester. Claire!
와, 집에서 돌솥 비빔밥이라니. Again, chopsticks.
Wow.
You know what? This is the best part. The beauty of this 돌솥 비빔밥. 제대로 했네. 확실히 아까 비빔밥에 비해서 뜨거우니까 훨씬 잘 섞인다. Ready? 엄청 맛있다. 똑같은 재료로 했는데 맛이 다르네. 솔직히 돌솥 비빔밥 먹는 사람들은 다 이 밑에 누른 그 밥 때문에 먹는 거잖아. But be careful, if you do it too much, you will need to visit the dentist. 확실히 추워지기 시작하니까 이제 이런 스타일의 돌솥 비빔밥이 더 땡길 것 같다.
Today I showed you how to make authentic bibimbap, which is one of the most popular Korean foods. The cooking process itself is not so difficult, but it is a bit time consuming because you need to prep a lot of ingredients. But think about it, if somebody cooked this beautiful bibimbap for you, I'm sure you feel blessed. So why don't you try this? Your friends or family members will love you more. Alright, this is it for today and I'll see you next time.